Nunes hits Sessions with severe consequences if he doesn't stand up to Mueller. By Carmen Sabia, Politics U.S. News from AdWorldNews.com. Attorney General Jeff Sessions got some bad news on Sunday from House Intelligence Chairman Representative Devin Nunes when the latter appeared on Fox and Friends. The time for Sessions to stand on the sidelines and watch as the president who appointed him is being victimized by a witch hunt to end his presidency is over. If he did not know it before, he better pay attention now. Hours after President Donald Trump's attorney, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, spoke on Fox News' Jeanine Pirro and told her it was time for Sessions to end the Mueller probe, Representative Nunes said that Sessions would be held accountable for his lack of action. Representative Nunes gave a phone interview to Fox and Friends and let the Attorney General know that the time for complacency was over. Representative Nunes scolded the Attorney General for abuses of FISA court counterintelligence wiretaps and other matters. He said that Sessions had ignored a subpoena demanding information on what led to approving the wiretaps on President Trump's campaign aide, Carter Page. Then, on Thursday, we discovered that they are not going to comply with our subpoena, Representative Nunes said. He told the Fox and Friends host that Sessions' reluctance to comply with the subpoena left only one choice. The only thing that is left that we can do is we have to move quickly to hold the Attorney General of the United States in contempt, and that's what I'm going to press for this week, Representative Nunes said. We've asked for very important information. It's still classified. Because of the way they conducted this information, most of this information is classified because this is so important. I'm not going to take any excuse to say, oh, we're harming national security. How many times have we heard that argument throughout this entire investigation? We've had to take people to court to get the information. We shouldn't have to take Fusion GPS to court in order to find out that the Democrats and the Hillary Clinton campaign had paid for the dirty dossier. We shouldn't have had to do that, the California representative said. We're just not going to take this nonsense of every time we peel something back, every time we need to get information, we get ignored. We get stalled. We get stonewalled, and then, lo and behold, we get accused of we're going to destroy the nation's ability to keep it secure. Yeah, what a crock, right? That's
President of the United States saying on Fox last night that the attorney...
That's only used to hide the culprits, that the national security, yeah, okay.
General should shut down the Mueller investigation. I want to bring in live Devin Nunes. You know him, of course, the Republican from California who's chairman of the House Intel Committee. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
It's great to be with you guys.
I wonder if you can react to that from Rudy Giuliani, but I also understand that you have some news about Jeff Sessions.
Well, yeah, this is the ongoing problem here with this special counsel. We found out Friday from the judge. It kind of looks like this whole investigation has gone off the rails. Now, what we've been investigating in the House Intelligence Committee is FISA abuse and other matters involving the beginning of what was called a counterintelligence investigation. Now, remember, they opened up this counterintelligence investigation. I think this is really important for the American people to understand. This is done in a secret manner. If you have a counterintelligence investigation opened up on you as an American citizen, this is done secretly, with only a few people's knowledge. And if they go to court, they go to a secret court to get a warrant on you, like they did with Carter Page. So there is a very small apparatus in the Congress, in our country, that holds the check and balance authority between Congress and the executive branch. And when the Obama administration decided to move forward on a counterintelligence investigation in a campaign of all things, that's how we've gotten to here. So we continue to peel the onion back And I'll tell you what happened 2 weeks ago. We sent a letter to Attorney General Jeff Sessions, a classified letter. Per usual, it was ignored, not acknowledged, just completely ignored. So last week we sent a subpoena, and then on Thursday we discovered that they're not going to comply with our subpoena.
So what are you going to do about it?
Very important information that we need.
So what are you going to do?
The only thing left that we can do is we have to move quickly to hold the Attorney General of the United States in contempt, and that's what I'm going to press for this week.
And what would that mean? What are you specifically holding him in contempt for, and what does break that down? What that means for viewers?
So we've asked for very important information. It's still classified, right? This is the problem with a lot of this investigation.
Sure.
Because of the way they conducted the investigation, most of this information is classified. But because this is so important, I'm not going to take any excuse to say, oh, we're harming national security. You know, how many times have we heard that argument throughout this entire investigation? You know, we've had to take people to court to get the information. You know, we shouldn't have had to take Fusion GPS to court in order to find out that the Democrats and the Hillary Clinton campaign had paid for the dirty dossier. Remember the dirt that was used to get a FISA warrant on the Trump campaign?
Right.
We shouldn't have had to do that. So we're just not going to take this nonsense of every time we peel something back, every time we need information, we get ignored, we get stalled, we get stonewalled, and then lo and behold, we get accused of we're going to destroy the nation's ability to keep it secure.
So pardon me, but what are you going to do then? Are you going to force a vote in Congress to hold the Attorney General of the United States in contempt of Congress? Walk us through what you're actually going to do about it.
So the next step this week is we will have to lay out, and we will probably have to go to court in order to enforce this subpoena. So we've been in discussions over the weekend with our General Counsel for the United States Congress. Now remember, we did this with Lois Lerner, and we did this also with Attorney General Holder. But I think this is going to be a much different case where I can't imagine that the Attorney General Jeff Sessions is going to defend not providing pertinent documents.
Right. I mean,
very important documents to Congress.
This is a very big deal, and so far you're saying you have heard nothing from Jeff Sessions and from his office. Is that right?
Well, I'm not even sure we heard from the legislative director for the Department of Justice, but you know, I don't know that the Attorney General is even aware of our request.
Well, he will be now. So how do you expect he'll respond, if at all?
Well, I think we need to talk to the Attorney General to make sure he understands the significance of this request. I have already talked to the director of the FBI that we need this request. And so this just can't continue where we don't get information in a timely manner. And like I said, everything we've tried to get, they try to stop us from getting.
Now, Friday night, you also, I don't want to get lost in all these headlines, you released an unclassified version, a kind of a new version of your report, most recent report, that got into the DOJ and the FBI improperly using redactions to protect people like James Comey. You can get into that, but also with General Flynn, it turns out, James Comey told our own Brett Baer a week or so ago, he didn't remember the idea that the FBI agents didn't believe General Flynn was lying. Your report says something much different.
Yeah, this is one of the challenges, again, in a classified setting, shortly after the two agents interviewed General Flynn. This was just a couple months after, maybe a month after. We learned that the two agents didn't believe that General Flynn was lying. Now, we all knew what was because of the felony leak of classified information to the New York Times and the Washington Post regarding the call between General Flynn and the Russian ambassador. We knew about that. So clearly there was some confusion because the agents didn't think that Flynn was lying, and Mr. McCabe even testified that they had a challenge to even bring any charges against Flynn that he would be lying to the FBI. That was under oath shortly after the interview. This information is well over a year old. And we put that in a report. Remember, people forget, we sent our report over to the intelligence agencies, including the FBI and Department of Justice, 6 weeks ago. And it wasn't until Friday night that finally we get all the black markings.
Oh, Friday
night. They went away so that the American people could understand what actually happened.
So what is the biggest question that still remains in your mind when you look at the scope and the size now of this investigation, how many legs it's taken on? In your opinion, what is the biggest question that remains?
Well, I put it in a few different buckets. Let me just rattle through them. There's the bucket of FISA abuse and other matters that we were looking into, the counterintelligence investigation that was started on the Trump campaign. That's what we're doing in the Intelligence Committee. You have the IG report that's coming out, and then you have Chairman Gowdy and Chairman Goodlatte who are looking into the Clinton email investigation and all things from that. Those are two buckets, and then you have the third bucket, which is the special counsel, which, I don't know which direction it's going. It's hard to even know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah, and you, like many others, probably frustrated with the fact that it hasn't been constrained. We have to leave it right there, unfortunately. Devin Nunes, thanks for
all that news.
Yeah, you see, but he said that he didn't know if Jeff Sessions knows about it. Of course Jeff Sessions knows about it. Representative Nunes said that the next step this week will probably have to go to court to enforce this subpoena, he said. He mentioned that Congress did the same thing with former Attorney General Eric Holder and former IRS exempt organization unit director Lois Lerner. Yeah, what happened to them? Representative Nunes said that it is possible that Sessions is not even aware of our request. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You see how he has to hold back? Because he knows Sessions knows. There's no possible way that Sessions doesn't know what's going on. He told the hosts, I think we need to talk to the Attorney General to make sure he understands Come on now. He understands the significance of this request? I mean, it's a joke. I've already talked to the director of the FBI to tell him that we need his request. This can't continue where we don't get information in a timely manner. Like I said, everything we try to get, they try to stop us from getting. And again, I'll go back to this. Trey Gowdy and Bob Goodlatte, they stopped the IG's report from coming out now because now they're looking into the Hillary email to pacify the Republicans. This is a crock. Goodlatte and Gowdy are stopping this from the IG reports from coming out because they'll be exposed. That's why they stopped the IG report. How many times have they stopped the IG report from coming out? Now they're going into the emails. Come on, give me a break, so to speak. This is a major step as the walls are starting to come in on Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. That's a crock all in itself. It was Friday when a federal judge told Mueller's attorney's team that he wanted to see proof that says the team had the authority to prosecute President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, on charges that went back a decade before the 2016 presidential election. Absolutely correct. What does that have to do with Russian collusion when you're talking a decade ago? The judge insinuated that the only reason Manafort was being prosecuted was to pressure him to give the investigators something to get the president on. And so now Representative Nunes is not so many words is accusing Sessions of being part of the deep state cabal. So is Trey Gowdy and Bob Goodlatte, that wants the president removed from office. If they didn't learn the lesson during the election, they will now. President Trump and his allies do not back down from a fight. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Mueller's case now is being shut down on the Russian bots. The judge is ordering him to produce the documentation. It's a banana republic, but they're getting to the bottom of this. And I always said, no matter what they're saying, that Q says, oh, Sessions is to be trusted, that's a crock. That's a big crock because you got Gowdy and Goodlatte in on it too. So, no. There's no way. So people that are following this Q thing, they're telling you after the fact, so I don't believe any of that. I don't know. They trust the plan. What plan? To put us to sleep? Let me know what you guys think. Also, and put us on a wild goose chase with those posts. No. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.